Jason, can you see Kareem okay from where you're sitting?
Yep.
Oh, perfect. It's worked out well. Hey, everybody. Welcome in. Oh, there we go. Let me do that. Yeah, it's better with music, isn't it? Hey, everybody. Welcome into another episode of the WTH podcast, streaming live from Darling New Media Studio A to the world. With me, as always, to my left is Jason Casey, and with me from his home, out of an abundance of caution, is our friend Kareem. Kareem, how are you?
I'm good. Just trying to make sure I keep everybody safe.
Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Just FYI, everybody, COVID is still a thing. I don't know if you've heard. There's an alpha variant out there, or Delta variant, I'm sorry.
Delta variant, yeah.
Right, because we can't call it the Indian variant because too many racists would start attacking Indian people.
That is true.
That is exactly why, because this variant is the one that has caused such havoc in India. And I believe what I hear, like 80 or 90% of all the cases in the UK are this Delta variant now. So it's spreading, especially if you're not vaccinated. And Kareem, out of an abundance of caution, even though we're all vaccinated, Jason and I have little kids who cannot be vaccinated yet. Fingers crossed by September. Fingers very crossed by September that we'll be able to do that. So, boy, yeah. What a day. What a day. What a day.
So I was around someone who tested positive.
Okay.
And he said and I thought he was vaccinated. But I found out when I got the message from him that he wasn't. He said he had planned on getting it done. And, my thoughts were kind of like, well, for all the people that he's encounters that he would have been. But, I found out from him. And ever since I found out from him, I've tried to stay in the house, not to be around too many people. Everybody in my house is vaccinated. So I just didn't want to, like I said, you guys got kids. And I didn't want to subject you guys to that. And I didn't want to put anything with Jason. Like Saturday, I was supposed to do a photo shoot for a guy with his brand new baby. And I was like, I can't do that to him at all. Like, I can't even, the thought was like, no, we'll do it we'll do it like next week, with the vaccination, even if you quote unquote have it, it runs a quicker course. So the CDC actually said I didn't have to do anything, but like I said, I didn't want to put anybody else in jeopardy any more than I had to.
No, it's a smart thing. Much appreciated. We appreciate the responsible move, as always.
Speak for yourself.
You just want to give him a big kiss on the mouth?
You need a hug today, Jason?
I always need a hug.
It's weird. It's weird because he came in here and moved himself over further away from where I'd set up. Yeah. I don't know why. Just confused. I think he thought I was sitting directly behind the audio board here in the middle.
I thought that you were sitting directly behind.
Yeah, no, everything. So I get it. It's a different setup because with Kareem not here, we moved to the middle of the table and we'll go from there. We've got our monitor back here. We've got Kareem on a big monitor over there so we can see him. We're going to be going back and forth from this look to this look, depending on whether Kareem's making a point. So hope everybody is enjoying it. Thank you to Kevin Fontana for our theme music. You can check him out on YouTube. Just search for Kevin Fontana. He's the bearded guy with the guitars. He'll answer all of your guitar questions and needs. I don't know if he'll answer about smashing a guitar.
Oh, he would.
Like the Who? The Who?
I think he would answer it. Yeah. He'd probably say it's not a good idea, but he'd answer.
Yeah.
Hey, like, why would you do that? Why would you do that to a guitar? So, anywho, before we get into the rest of the show, I'm going to ask you, what would you like to talk about? We'll start with you, Jason. What would you like to talk about?
About habitual line steppers. And the habitual line stepper that I know right now is my daughter, my 2-year-old.
Right.
She is just like, she's at that point where everything is no, or like, and it's tough because it's so cute. Like when she gives you that sass of like no, and like she also thinks it's kind of funny. It's like one of those moments. It's like, oh man, that is, and you can't even smirk. You can't, like, you have to hold in like that laugh, that smirk, like so much. Like that's a really important part. Parenting is not laughing at the funny shit your kids do on a regular basis.
Yeah, I don't find it funny. I got shit to do. I'm
Exactly.
like, I got shit to do. I ain't got time for your nonsense. Mine was there a few months ago, and mine will eye roll at a much higher age level, and she does.
Yeah,
It's a very pronounced eye roll, like,
yeah,
like that's crazy. And my wife laughed at it, and I said, "You're going to regret that."
Yeah.
And she says, "I don't care. It's funny." And I said, "You are going to regret that."
No, man, you can't laugh. You can't laugh when they do that stuff. Like you have to be like, hey, you have to keep that stern. You have to keep that, like. So that's the thing that's funny is like. So I have the 4-year-old who she doesn't listen sometimes, but more often than not, she hears the voice. When she hears that certain dad voice, certain dad tone that I have, she knows that I'm not messing around and she needs to get in her seat. And she does. The problem is that her sister has seen her mess around for the last 90 seconds.
Right.
And now her sister thinks that that's just what's going down.
Now it's my turn to mess around.
And it's like, no. Like, meanwhile, like CJ's back there buckled in because she knows that she needs, like, you better be buckled in when I come over there. Because I still have to do the bottom part. But, oh, man, she just, anyhow, yeah, habitual line steppers, man. 2-year-olds, 2.5-year-olds, that's just what they do.
Not to be confused with Aini Kamosi, here comes the hot stepper.
Oh, that's
Order up.
yes.
Welcome back to the 90s, everybody. Kareem, what would you like to talk about?
Oh man. So you know how we generally at some point end up to, does everything have to do with slavery?
Yeah. There are people that ask that a lot.
Yes. The Alamo.
Okay.
You know that story that we were told for all those years about how it was that group of Texans trying to get away from the dictatorial leadership of Mexico?
Yes.
Oh, bullshit.
Oh.
Really?
You know, yes. You know what the dictator in Mexico was trying to get them to stop doing?
Does it involve black people?
Owning slaves.
Yeah. Indigenous people? Yeah.
Oh, it wasn't just fucking their women.
It was just fucking their women.
Thought I'd ask.
So they brought them, and it's kind of the Mexicans' fault because they wanted to bring them into Texas as a shield between the Mexicans and the Comanches.
Okay.
But they saw it as a way they saw the fertile valleys and they thought that they could grow cotton there. So you can't grow cotton if you don't have Negroes.
Well, hold on. I think you can technically grow cotton without Negroes.
Well, technically you can.
I mean, it's going to be a lot more work for everyone else.
Right. But
then you have to get some Mexicans to come up here.
Right.
But you know, Stephen Austin, who we famously iconized, he was one of those people that said, oh well, we can't do that if we can't have Negroes. We can't, we can't make our money the way we want to. So
look at this. What? Look at this. Huh? What?
Oh, wrong, Steve Austin. I'm sorry.
Yes. So the Mexican government was finally like, nope, you can't own slaves. And they were like, fuck you, we're going to own slaves anyway. And they was like, no, we're going to send the military. And then that's how the whole Alamo situation broke down because they wanted to own fucking slaves.
There you go. And then Pee Wee Herman, the basement of the Alamo.
Yep.
Exactly.
All ties in.
It's crazy. Their basement is air conditioned.
Sure.
Oh, and to tie it all up, the governor of Texas shut down a talk by an author who was going to talk about this at a library or a museum in Texas last week. They shut it down because they didn't want you to know.
Well, Greg Abbott is a dick. He really is. Absolutely a dick.
I'd say an asshole, but dick works also.
Yeah.
Yes.
I want to talk about the 4th of July.
Oh.
Because today, as we record this, as we stream it live, is the 5th of July. And we are less one NHL player after the goalie for the Columbus Blue Jackets died after a fireworks accident. He's 24 years old. His name is Matis Kavelniks. He died of chest trauma from an errant firework mortar blast in what authorities described as a tragic accident on the 4th of July. Police in Michigan said the firework tilted slightly and started to fire toward people nearby. On Sunday night, the 24-year-old was in a hot tub and tried to get clear with several other people. Originally, authorities said that the Latvian had died of an apparent head injury during the fall, but the autopsy clarified that no, it was the mortar to the chest that got him. So for everybody who's like, hey, what's a big deal? We're just having fun. Dead goalie. And ask Jason Pierre-Paul about his fingers.
And I mean, to make another point, they didn't say freak accident.
No. Nope.
Because it's not a freak accident.
It is not.
At this point.
Not at all. Hold on. I need to. There we go.
Yeah. And then there were three house fires within 2 miles of my house.
There were fireworks everywhere. I mean, every single neighborhood around us was crazy.
Not fireworks, fires.
No, I understand that. Were they caused by fireworks?
Yes.
Well, that was my point.
Yes.
The mattress factory on 14th over in Oak Park.
Yeah.
It caught on fire yesterday.
Dude, it's insane that more things didn't catch on fire.
4 in the afternoon. We're not talking about and it was fireworks.
Yeah, people started with fireworks. I started hearing them at like 2 in the afternoon.
I started hearing them about a month ago.
As did I. Did I.
They started down the street for me like at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's insane what people were doing with firing off fireworks.
I was in Oakdale for the 4th at my cousin's house.
Enough said.
And he lives across the street from somebody in the PD there. And there was mortar blasts, like M1000s going up in the air, like right there. And you could see the guys whoever was doing it was playing cat and mouse with the police off, because they called the police on these guys. I'm sure he called one of his partners and he was cruising the neighborhood. But as soon as he would drive away, boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, and there's just too many for the cops to actually get everybody and even dealing with it. It's insanity. It's absolute insanity. Yeah, and it makes no sense.
And my dog doesn't do well with them, so I don't really do anything on the 4th except for make sure she's okay.
Yeah. All right. Let's get into it a little bit. So Rachel Nichols from ESPN, she's apologized. Why? Well, let's go back and listen.
Hey, instead of hosting the NBA Finals, why don't you do Doris's sideline reporter job for the NBA Finals? Because guess what that would clear the way for? For Maria to do the hosting. Yeah. So, I have declined. I don't know what their next move is, but they are feeling pressure because of all of that. And I'm trying to figure out how to just, my thing is that I wish Maria Taylor all the success in the world. She covers football, she covers basketball. If you need to give her more things to do because you're feeling pressure about your crappy long-time record on diversity, which by the way I myself know personally from the female side of it, go for it. Just find it somewhere else. You're not going to find it with me and taking my thing away.
So she was talking about her colleague Maria Taylor, who's Black, and she was basically saying that she didn't think that she needed to be getting any more projects, including some of Rachel's airtime. Rachel Nichols has been at ESPN for a very long time. So that was now again, and she also equated it to and it was tough to hear, but she sort of equated it to adding diversity for the sake of adding diversity. she's apologized. And of course, and ex-NBA stars Kendrick Perkins and Richard Jefferson were also there to weigh in on what she said and her
First
apology.
thing they teach you in journalism school is don't be the story. And I don't plan to break that rule today or distract from a fantastic finals. But I also don't want to let this moment pass without saying how much I respect, how much I value our colleagues here at ESPN, how deeply, deeply sorry I am for disappointing those I hurt, particularly Maria Taylor, and how grateful I am to be part of this outstanding team.
Well, Rachel, I want to say thank you. Thank you for accepting responsibility for your actions. You know, as someone that has known you for a long time, you know, being around you, you have treated me with the utmost respect, and you always made me feel comfortable in your presence. And I know your heart, you know, great person, great individual. I also know Maria Taylor, great person as well. Very, very talented, hardworking, and I feel like she also deserves every opportunity that is presented her way. My only hope is that we have a commitment overall to support each other through this process and continue to support each other through our journey.
No, I agree with Perk. Let me first say this. I fully support Maria Taylor. I've worked with her since I joined ESPN at Get Up and Countdown, and I've known Rachel for 20 years. Rachel and our entire group here have had some very difficult conversations over this time period. And those conversations don't end here. We will continue to have uncomfortable conversations. No one is excused. She is not excused. I am not excused. Perk. This doesn't just go away, but we have to learn and understand it and become better for each other. And really through our actions more than anything. And that is our responsibility. And we all have a role in that. And that's something that I take pride in, and I hold to myself and everyone to a very high standard.
Kareem, thoughts?
One, this was bullshit. The whole situation was bullshit. ESPN put Rachel Nichols in a bad spot, and they put Maria Taylor in a bad spot.
Mm-hmm.
One, Rachel has the position that she has because of Rachel's work. Rachel deserved to host the NBA Finals because Rachel has put in the work to host the NBA Finals. Like, they didn't just give her a job. They didn't just give her the NBA Finals last week. Well, actually, she hasn't been hosting it that long, but she had worked her way to that position.
Right.
Maria Taylor is talented, but guess what? I don't want to see Maria Taylor all the fucking time. I want to see other people's faces on ESPN. I want to see diverse faces, and I don't necessarily mean color-wise. I just want to see diverse faces.
Different people. Being that I'm probably the one of us three that watches ESPN the most. I want to see different people in different positions. I don't want to fucking see an all-black cast on any part of it. I want different voices. And if we're going to have conversations about race, we cannot exclude white people from conversations about race. And I'm almost certain that Rachel was dead on about what her thoughts were about what was happening. If you want, like, they had Maria on the countdown with Jalen Rose, so they had them on a show together. So they had added her in spots there. That was fine. You could have just left her there and or left her, put her in a situation with them. But the spot that Rachel has carved out, she's earned that spot. And you know, the show that she hosts on a daily basis with the players, and she talks to the players on a daily basis. She's earned that spot. She's earned their respect. If she hadn't earned their respect, the guys that were there wouldn't be standing up for her. Steven Jackson posted another video separate from those guys. If he hadn't, if she didn't have his respect, he probably would have been one of the first people to call it out for what it was. So, you know, it's a bad situation for everybody. I don't think I understand why she apologized, but she didn't really need to apologize. Yeah, I've stopped watching ESPN quite a while ago, and I still watch sports. I just don't watch ESPN because I can get highlights on the internet, and ESPN mostly was just giving me highlights of East Coast bullshit that I didn't care about. So I honestly, I've never heard of this other girl. That's how little I watch ESPN.
Yeah.
I know Rachel Nichols because she's been there for 25 years or something like that.
Yeah.
She's been at ESPN a long time. So, Jason, do you have any thoughts on the whole situation?
Nope.
Okay.
And this is my last comment on the situation. Is this Black people? We can't support bullshit and try to say it's making it fair. No, it's not fucking fair. It's not making it fair. And because someone stands up and tell the truth in a situation where like this, that doesn't mean you're cooning for the white man. It doesn't mean that you're kissing what's her name's ass. It's the truth. It's the fucking truth. And you got to tell that regardless of what the fucking situation is. So if you want to add some context to it, add some fucking context to it. But this situation is not a situation of Rachel trying to do something to Maria. There was them trying to fuck Rachel to make themselves look better with Black people. That's what it was. So, suck a dick.
Yeah, it was mostly Rachel calling out the suits at ESPN for pulling bullshit.
Yeah.
So, anywho, moving on. Let's do this.
Why did you do that? Why? Why did you do that, Karen?
All right, it's back to the Karens. And by the way, Keith Lowell Jensen, calling out specific white women or specific women for terrible behavior is not misogynistic. It's calling out people for terrible behavior.
I asked my wife the question, and she said,
Jason checked with his wife.
Well, I just like, listen to this. She's a woman that I know.
Right.
And she's like, no, because you're calling out a behavior. You're not talking about somebody's.
It's not a blanket statement.
It's not a blanket statement.
It's not a blanket statement. Like this lady who was digging around in this dude's mailbox.
Yes, I am actually.
You-
in fact, yes, taking the
You're taking my property.
Well, there's been a lot of comings and goings of UPS trucks in this neighborhood.
What about
A
that?
lot of packages coming to this house particular. Well, something's going on in there. Something's going on.
So
in there.
it's
No,
Amazon.
I'm taking the package.
It's my Amazon wish
sir,
list.
I'm taking the package.
No, you're not taking
No,
my
I
package.
am-
That's
no,
my stuff.
Excuse me. Excuse me. Ow! Oh my God!
Okay, so he's recording. She is spraying him. She's got like a pink water bottle like you'd spray your cat with.
Her dog, probably. She has a friend for her dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he says, "You're not taking my package." And he holds on to the package and she drops to the ground like she's a European soccer player.
Yeah. I mean, that was like that was the biggest flop since Vladi Divac.
I did
was
not
on the
kill
cover.
you. You're fine. You,
Oh my God!
you sprayed me with whatever that stuff is.
Okay. She says repeatedly, "You've killed me. You've killed me."
You killed me!
I did not kill you. You're fine. You,
Oh my God!
you sprayed me with whatever that stuff is.
Okay. We're allowed to call her Karen. Just saying.
Yes.
Is it real? Is this real? Is it real? Like, it's almost so ridiculous. It's almost so, but then again, that's what makes it real, right? Because it's so ridiculous.
I don't know. Someone said fake Karens don't usually harass white men like that. Now that might be misogynistic. Just saying.
Yes. They'll harass whoever's available.
It's apparently fake. So there you go.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's according to leadstories.com, it's a male stealing Karen video, not in fact real, a joke made by a TikToker.
See, fuck those motherfuckers, man.
The TikTokers?
Oh, that's like Ron Foss, dude. If you see one of his fucking videos on your Facebook feed, man, and it's like, yeah, watch what you can do with this. Like, what? Like, here's an easy thing to do. No, it's a fucking magic trick done with fucking cameras that's like fake as fuck. And you'll watch it for 7 minutes thinking that you're going to actually see something. And then you see that it's a fucking stupid trick. It's not even a good one. It's not even a good trick.
Yeah. Well, TikTok is garbage. It's owned by the Chinese. Chinese!
TikTok is not garbage.
It's garbage.
Garbage people.
Hot garbage. I'm just on Twitter and Pujols is trending because he's reached 6,000 total bases in his career, fourth player ever. Dodger fans are very excited. They like to say Angels are paying him $30 million a year so he can do this, and they show him getting like a hit. Let's be clear about this. I will do this really quickly because no one cares. But the Angels released Albert Pujols so that Shohei Ohtani, by the way, leading the major leagues in home runs and going to the All-Star game as a pitcher and a DH. So he could hit every day, and Jared Walsh could play first base every day. Ohtani is the MVP frontrunner and an all-star. Walsh is also an all-star. They are 8 games over 500 since releasing Albert Pujols, most of that without Mike Trout, who is the best player on the planet. And Albert Pujols, for the record, is hitting .228 with a negative WAR since going to the Dodgers. So eat a hairy dick. The Angels are paying him $30 million to go away because Albert Pujols at this point in his career is fucking terrible. Terrible.
Tell us how you really feel.
Are dicks supposed to be hairy?
Terrible.
Are dicks supposed to be hairy? Like, I just need to know this.
Why did you do that, Karen?
By the way, there's a movie. It's a BET original movie. A film by Coke Daniels.
This is a long way from East
Cokie
Point.
Daniels.
Baby, you just got to give it a chance. Tell me about new neighbors. They're black. Do you mind keeping it down? If you don't comply, I'll tell the manager.
Somebody's taking home security serious.
Hi, I am Karen Drexler. I'm your neighbor. You need to be taking your trash cans off the curb right when the trash is picked up. Is she nice?
Yeah, she's nice.
Wait a minute. We have a white entitled neighbor named Karen.
Karen, enjoy yourself.
There she is, slaving away in the kitchen. I've come across some very suspecting teenagers.
Suspecting?
Can you please hurry up? Please, they're very aggressive. Yep.
I left my wallet with my ID at home. Leave us alone. We didn't do anything.
How the heck did you end up moving to this neighborhood? Next thing you know, we have criminals. You take care of him, and I will take care of her.
Would you mind stepping out of the car?
My office has uncovered some disturbing information on her and her brother.
She doesn't like black people.
We have a search warrant.
Well, I'm black.
I know, she doesn't like you either.
I want to sell the house.
What I do? You can't tell me, huh?
We are living next door to a racist. You went in her house? You wouldn't want your wife to know our little secret, right?
I was not standard police procedure back there.
What do we have here?
When you got a hammer, everything looks like nails.
You people are very angry.
Shut your mouth, boy.
Bad things happen to people that don't comply.
Karen.
The woman that's the Karen in that's the woman from Orange is the New Black, right?
It's Taryn Manning.
Yeah.
Kareem, are you excited for the Karen movie?
I kind of want to see it a little bit. People were complaining. They were saying it was a ripoff of Get Out, but I was like, is that just from the way the trailer is shot or what?
Well, I mean, there's that. It's a horror movie, and I believe the goal is for the black people to get out.
No, but it's not the same.
That's the opposite. In Get Out, the black people are supposed to stay.
Yeah, it's
It's
not. They're not ripping off any Get Out. I mean, they're definitely playing to. They're catering. For sure.
Yeah.
There's a definitely like. I mean,
yeah. Again, I hate people because nobody's taking the time to look at anything, and everybody's just wants to be on blast. Let's blast this. Let's blast that. Like, fuck you.
I just found out about that today. I had to share on the podcast. So, all right, let's go into Magaland. Magaland. We'll start with the pillow guy.
By the time the morning of August 13th, it'll be the talk of the world going, hurry up. Let's get this election pulled down. Let's right the right. Let's get these communists out, that they've taken over. And you'll see, when I say that, and they'll say, well, what's going to happen to all the people that were involved? I don't know. Right now, the biggest concern is getting this election pulled down. Donald Trump won. I mean, it's pretty simple. Okay, and there were many down ticket senators too that they did too and stuff. You'll find all that out.
What?
Man, Dominion.
What?
Oh, Dominion turns his pillow factory into. I don't even care what they turn it into.
Parking lot.
Yes, turn his pillow factory into a parking lot. Sell all them shits at the 99-cent store for 66 cents.
Whoo. Meanwhile, Donald Trump held another rally, and this guy was so excited he got there early.
I was actually second on the line, Liz. I got here Tuesday morning at 8 o'clock in the morning. Okay?
5 days. You've waited 5 days for President Trump.
5 days for this.
What the fuck is wrong with you, dude? 5 days? 5 days to hear him go on for 2 hours about the same shit?
For him to pretty much put his lawyer that's just got charged to pretty much say that he did what he said.
We're getting to that. We're getting to that because we're in MAGA land. We, of course, are going to the rally.
These people, many of them, look at the people they're letting, and these people are going on the streets. There's no cash bail, there's no justice, and the people are afraid to go to our Democrat-run cities. I don't like going.
Yeah, because you're under indictment. In one of them.
Afraid to go. Who the hell wants to go? And yet they go after good, hardworking people.
Yeah, who wants to go to places like LA, New York, Chicago, San Francisco, Seattle? What terrible, terrible places to go.
Horrible.
Taxes on a company car. Company car. You didn't pay tax on the car or a company apartment. You used an apartment because you need an apartment because you have to travel too far where your house is. You didn't pay tax. Or education for your grandchildren. I don't even know. Do you have to? But does anybody know the answer to that stuff?
Yes, they do.
You do have to pay tax
You
on
have
that.
to pay taxes on
Indeed. You have to pay state tax. In New York, you have to pay city tax. And I believe you also have to pay federal payroll tax on that, too.
Yeah, there's payroll tax on that, baby.
Because that's part of your compensation package. They just indicted Alan Weisselberg for these crimes, and basically he just admitted that they were doing them.
Yes. How fucking stupid. Look, Alan Weisselberg. If I was Alan Weisselberg, after
I'd turn over right now. I'd turn over right now.
Look, I would have been on the phone to the district attorney Saturday night. Like, okay, what's the fucking deal? Let's cut a deal right now. Like, we're done.
Hey, what are we doing?
What do you want to know? I'd have been in the DA's office at 2 o'clock in the morning. What do you want to know?
Meanwhile, Donald Trump Jr. was on Fox News.
Yeah, they dressed up the indictment, obviously. They dress it up. They make it look really serious. They say he didn't pay taxes on $1.7 million worth of stuff over 16 years. So that's to New York State, 8% of that, $136,000. Half of that was because my father paid for his grandchildren's school in New York City. So you take that out. It amounts to about $5,000 a month. That's what they promised. They brought in outside prosecutors. They teamed up with the Attorney General of New York State to do this.
And you just admitted that they did the crime on TV. I'm just saying.
Again, I would be I would be in their office. I would still be in their office from Saturday night right now because I'd be telling every goddamn thing because they are going to throw him under the bus. Yeah. They are going to keep fucking him.
Oh, and then he gave me a Diet Coke one day. It was in the bottle still. Like, what else? Oh, yeah. I used 3 Kleenex.
Also, Eric was on Fox TV saying there was only $3.5 million worth of perks and that everyone gets perks. So what's the big deal?
A perk is a company vehicle that you use for work because you have to drive places. and even that, depending on how it's used, has to be compensated. Like, has to be taxed.
Correct. Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh my god. What's the matter with people, man?
Well, I don't know, but if he can't be reinstalled as president, Matt Gaetz has an idea of what he's going to do to help Donald Trump.
And so after the next election cycle, when we take back the House of Representatives, when we send Nancy Pelosi back to the filth of San Francisco.
By the way, Nancy Pelosi is not losing, so she'll be back.
Yes.
She'll be back.
My commitment to you is that my vote for Speaker of the U.S. House of Representatives will go to Donald J. Trump.
Okay.
What does he have to support any of that?
First of all, I don't know that you can be Speaker of the House if you're not a member of the House.
Yeah. What the
So I think that's the first thing. And again, maybe I'm wrong. But second, the Speaker of the House needs to actually understand how government works and
Yes.
show up.
And work.
And show up. Which I mean, that's not Donald J. Trump at all.
No.
I mean, the ass kissing is spectacular. Spectacular.
That's ass licking, not kissing.
And by the way, Matt Gaetz is looking at possible sex trafficking charges. So I don't know that he's the guy you'd want to have really deep in your corner going, yeah, buddy. I mean, if it's me, I'm like, hey, Matt Gaetz, you know how you help? Don't help.
Don't say my name at all.
Don't help me. Do not help me. But he was there at the it's a Save America rally. I'm just saying.
You're just saying. I'm just saying.
Oh boy.
Fuck that dude.
Yeah. No, we're not doing that this time. We're not doing fuck that guy. We're just in Magaland. We're just journeying through Magaland. So that's it. That's it for our journey through Magaland. I want to talk about this really briefly. I want to talk about our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. And this crazy lady, I'm sorry, right-wing activist Lauren Witzke, she's got some things to say about the Equality Act and Jesus Christ.
Ooh, on InfoWars, by the way. That's
Yeah. And I'm not just saying Jesus Christ. She's saying Jesus Christ. And when we're done, you'll probably be saying Jesus Christ.
There is a war on Christians. They did this, they targeted me, and they made an example out of me because I'm an outspoken Christian who vocally opposes the Equality Act. Listen, Alex, I don't know if you know much about it, but they're trying to illegalize Jesus Christ and the scripture and categorize
Absolutely,
it as
just
hate
like in
speech.
Europe and Canada where they're arresting pastors. Tell folks about it.
Yeah, absolutely. So what it will do is it will classify scripture, belief in traditional marriage as hate speech. If an abortionist wants to make the decision to not perform an abortion, they can arrest that abortionist or that doctor or that nurse that chooses to take the biblical approach and change their lives. Children who struggle with gender identity, now it's going to make them illegal for them to pursue therapy to change their mind. And this is, it's absolutely an attack.
It's basically
on
the cult
Christians.
trying to make it illegal to leave the cult.
Yes, exactly. And even just quoting scripture will be classified as hate speech, is what it is going to do. It is going to make Christianity a crime on a federal level. There is
a lot to unpack there. First of all, Alex Jones. Gosh, I sort of miss that guy. It's a little bit. Banned from YouTube, by the way. So that's the
only reason you can get it on InfoWars.
Right. There's a reason the only place you can get it is on his own website. Second of all, there's a lot of dancing around reality in that whole statement. By the way, if you're a doctor who performs abortions and you decide, I don't want to perform abortions anymore, no one's going to arrest you for that.
Yeah,
nope.
No.
That's not how any of this works.
Especially if he's an abortionist.
Right. You can, in fact, embrace traditional marriage. What you cannot do is discriminate against what you would say is non-traditional marriage. So you can still be all about what you're all about. You just can't punish other people for being about something else. And that is what she's mad about.
That's right.
That is what she is mad about. It's like, if you were looking at it from another side and called it something like Sharia law.
That's okay.
Very upset about Sharia law because that's where religion controls our laws. This same type of person and Alex Jones. I remember Alex Jones getting all upset about Sharia law. It's going to go everywhere. It's going to be everywhere. Tell them what they're going to do.
They're going to teach your kids how to masturbate in the playground in front of other people.
They're going to teach your kids how to masturbate in the playground.
And then they're going to attain homosexual and gay and transgendered all at the same time and grow vaginas on their foreheads.
You're not going to
because of the fluoride in the water.
And kids can go to counseling. They cannot go to conversion therapy because that's different.
And it has no clinical validity.
Sure. Because it's
not
bullshit.
It's bullshit.
It's bullshit. But kids are allowed to go to therapy. If you have a kid who is coming to you and saying, I don't feel like I am the gender that I was born. I feel like I'm something else. And you say, I really would like you to talk to somebody about this. You can have them go to a therapist and talk to them about it. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. And no one is looking to ban that. Absolutely not. You just can't send them to conversion therapy.
That's a different kind of therapy.
It is a whole different thing. And it falls into that same category of these people don't want their rights protected. What they want to do is they want to make sure that their rights are the only ones that matter. That's what this really boils down to. That's what it boils down to. Just FYI. Okay, so this past week, a pipeline ruptured in the Gulf of Mexico and the Gulf caught on fire.
Oh, man.
You saw the video of this, Kareem? Gulf on fire?
As a matter of fact, I snoped it to make sure that it was real.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. It looks like a portal to hell.
Yeah, it looks like a portal to hell.
On Twitter, someone who uses the handle Angry Staffer said, can we all take a moment to appreciate the fact that we elected a normal president and as a result didn't have to listen to any Trump ideas for closing this portal to hell? And then my mind started going, what the fuck would this crazy son of a bitch come up with for this?
Oh, dude.
I mean, he wanted to fire nukes at a hurricane. What would he come up with for this?
He probably would have wanted to fire nukes there.
Yeah, same thing.
Can we just nuke it?
Is there a snowball gun that we can shoot in there?
Oh, yes. Why can't we make big ice balls?
Yes.
Does somebody got a loaf of bread? Somebody got a loaf of bread. Can we fix it with a loaf of bread?
All right, everybody to the Costco and get all their ice.
Can we go to Alaska and cut off the top of a mountain and just drop it in there?
Oh, that's the one.
The sheer enormity of this fucking portal to hell is fucking astounding. Why you have to Snopes it. Because when I saw it, I was like, the size of it's bigger than a fucking oil rig, bro.
Dude,
it's bigger than a fucking oil rig.
Yeah.
I saw it on 3 different platforms and I was like, let me make sure this shit's real.
This looks like a fucking video game. This looks like my video game where all of a sudden these crazy things come up out of the ground, man. You didn't want to be there.
Right. Video game, horror movie, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
So the answer in the thread was tow an iceberg next to it and nuke the iceberg.
That's a good one too.
That's it.
Yeah, so that's one of the ideas that was come up with for that. All right, let's break away for a second. We have to stop for a moment and listen to sane people, or else we're going to lose our minds. So let's take about 30 or so seconds with Representative Katie Porter explaining how we're going to pay for things.
We are going to pay for these things. The president has made clear that he is going to champion a fair tax system. And so, yes, these things are investments. Just like the investments in infrastructure, they have a price tag, but we are going to pay for them by having a fair tax system. And the American public, Democratic, Republican, Independent, the kind of district that I represent, they support not just creating jobs, not just supporting workers, but doing it by having a fair tax system. And so we really have to think about what's going to be the net extra spending after we adjust our tax system to be fair.
So that's what a sane person sounds like.
Well, she's the one that like.
I needed to throw it in. We have so much crazy bullshit on the show.
Oh, she's my favorite. She's always on it.
She is Blackboard Katie.
Yeah,
whiteboard Katie, I should say.
It's true.
Yeah, she knows it.
Her tweet said the U.S. doesn't have a just tax system. Families contribute their fair shares, but corporations get away with not paying what they owe under the law. That's costing the rest of us $1 trillion a year, money that could otherwise be spent on collective needs like infrastructure. And it's happened for way too long. And we elected Donald Trump, who said in the debates, well, I didn't pay taxes. That just makes me smart. And then people went, yay! Jeff Bezos, who is a super rich billionaire, even after losing half of his money to his now ex-wife, is going to space with his brother because he's got so much fucking money to burn that he's going to shoot his ass into space. I'm just saying, maybe Amazon could pay some taxes.
Yes.
And here's another side to Amazon. They maybe they could pay their workers more, and then their workers could pay more in taxes too.
Yes.
I'm just saying.
Oh, well, that's like trickle down, but trickle up.
See, here's the thing. Here's what we know. Trickle down doesn't do anything, but stimulus payments do things, because when you give people who don't have a lot of money, they have to use it to go buy things. When you give people who have a lot of money more money, they simply find ways to shuffle it around and not do anything with it
and not pay taxes on it.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, it's stock buybacks, it's whatever else.
LLCs, it's like this company over here.
There's nothing wrong with an LLC.
There's nothing wrong with an LLC, but
in California, you got to pay $800 a year just to have an LLC.
Yeah, but the money that you can shuffle through one, man.
If you're shuffling money through an LLC, you're setting it up in Nevada.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So someone who has an LLC in California,
sometimes you gotta be.
You're not.
Sometimes you gotta be in California.
Yeah. So, okay. But you know. Oh, anywho, yeah, I just had a little bit of sanity to break it in there. Oh yeah. Let's I think here. No, it's here.
You dick.
Oh, wrong one. Sorry. That's why we're on the Karen side of the soundboard. Yeah, I just need to get back over. Yeah, we need to get back over here because we can do
Florida.
Florida, land of enchantment and crazy shit. This is Florida Corner.
I like to call this story Humpy Old Men. Old Men.
Is there any other type?
Well, if you need further proof that Florida has fully emerged from the pandemic doldrums, the two nude old guys were arrested Wednesday evening after police spotted them having sex in public. According to an arrest report, a St. Petersburg cop called Daniel McCleary, who's 60, and Donald Engstrom, who's 59, engaged in sexual acts while completely naked and in public view at about 10:25 p.m. in a small park. The pair was arrested. Engstrom reportedly admitted that they were in fact having sex. They were arrested for indecent exposure and booked into the county jail on misdemeanor charge. Both men were released on their own recognizance. The report notes that the indication of alcohol influence was detected by the arresting officer. Now, while Engstrom's rap sheet includes a sole DWI conviction, McCleary has an extensive criminal history with convictions for battery, resisting arrest, burglary, theft, domestic battery, battery on a law enforcement officer, cocaine possession, trespassing, drunk driving, disorderly conduct, probation violation, and leaving the scene of an accident. He's a bad boy.
They met in some type of DUI program.
Yeah, they met at the AA meeting. Went and got a drink and had some time in the park. By the way, Saturday morning on my way in to record the All Eyes on Us podcast, I stopped at a mini mart, got out of my van where I heard a guy say from across the parking lot, hey buddy. And I look over, I go, yeah. He goes, buy me a can of beer. And I said, no. Sorry, man. I'm not buying you a can of beer.
And then what do you say?
That was it. That was the end of it. Of course, I went into the mini mart to get my soda. I was behind a gentleman who looked like he would hang out with the other gentleman. That gentleman was, in fact, buying a can of beer. So, the 9:30 a.m. can of beer. Also in Florida, a Florida man is behind bars for allegedly trying to pray his way through college and not the talking to God kind. His name is Raphael Woluski. He's 18. He was arrested on felony charges after allegedly trying to burglarize homes in the Vero Beach neighborhood where he lives with his parents. He was carrying a small knife, apprehended by a cop shortly after a caller dialed 911 to report a male had entered her home through a broken window around 5:50 p.m. It's still light out, buddy. He was collared after police spotted him walking a few blocks from the victim's residence. Now, during questioning, he reportedly admitted to committing 3 burglaries in the neighborhood, including a break-in at a residence across the street from his family's house. Yeah, they won't recognize you there. He told police that he decided to burglarize the homes to get money for college. He also claimed that the devil kept tempting him to steal.
The devil made me do it.
Yes, sir. Charged with a trio of armed burglary counts. He's locked up in the Indian River County Jail in lieu of $75,000 bond. He'll be arraigned on August 13th, and I'm guessing he will not be matriculating at a high-quality institution of higher learning.
Can you just say, man, like $75,000 for this dude? Like, he has some issues, man. Like he should be in some type of hospital right now. He's 18. Like, and he was saying he was burglarizing homes to get money for college.
And the devil made him do that.
And the devil made him do it. Like, this guy is not. He needs to be taken. He doesn't need to have bail $75,000. He needs to be in a hospital.
I think the devil was invented just so people could say the devil made me do it.
Yeah, I can't argue with that. That's Florida Corner for this week. Oh boy, get out of here. Turn that down. Boy, it's warm in the studio, isn't it, Jason? A little bit.
I just thought it was you because you're so hot,
sexy. Thank you very much. New HVAC coming. Well, I mean, the thing is, it's been hot, of course, and there was no one here all day to run the air conditioner. So,
yeah,
that's right.
It's on, but it's not that big a deal. All right. Anything you guys want to bang around? We got a couple minutes before we have to get to small town news, and I'm just curious if you've had anything that's really been burning a hole in your soul. To talk about.
I do have one thing.
All right, let's hear it.
So, you know, the track athlete that got busted for weed last week.
I do. I don't know her name off the top of my head, but I am familiar with the story. So, you know, her mother died. She smoked some weed to help her cope with it, whatever. So she got busted for it.
Right. They suspended her for a month. She took the suspension. She admitted to what she did. Let's move. You know, people are upset about it, but she took it like a woman. We're gonna move forward. So why did this asshole wench from Australia put out a tweet saying that her acrylic nails and her long hair were signs of steroid use?
Oh man.
I saw that headline and I didn't have a chance to dig into it. I'm like, I don't even want to get into this.
And that wasn't the worst part of what she said. The worst part of what she did was she went on to say that Florence Griffith Joyner died from steroid use. And her official autopsy says that she died from suffocating from an epileptic seizure.
Right.
So there was no purpose in you bringing this lady's name, this dead woman's name, into anything that was going on.
Right.
And especially when considering the girl's hair and nails aren't hers at all.
Well, and the other thing is there are plenty of people who have acrylic nails that
yes
that are not international athletes, and I don't know that that's a sign of it. Basically, she's saying every black woman is on steroids. Kareem is what she's saying.
Basically, right?
Basically.
Yeah, I don't know, and that comes on the heels of the Olympic trials where one athlete. There's three athletes on the podium, and the bronze medalist, who is African American, when they played the anthem, just put her hands on her hips and looked down. The other two immediately turned, put their hand on their heart, and blah, 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 blah. And I saw so many white people mad about this. So many white people mad about this, Kareem. I was like, why are you so mad? One of the things that makes America great is the fact that as Americans, we can protest here. We can protest the flag. We can protest the president. We can protest things if we're like, this is not okay. And they're like, yeah, but she wants to represent America. Yeah, that's part of what America is. And if she's the third best at the trials, guess what? She gets to do it. As long as she doesn't test dirty for something, then she gets to do it. She didn't do anything illegal. She didn't do anything other than not spin around. Now, her explanation as to why, was that well handled? No, not at all. She's like, I was set up. Well, maybe you were.
No, you didn't commit to it. Fuck it. So yesterday it's the 4th, and we are watching Men of Honor, which is the story of Carl Brashear, who was the first black Navy diver.
Okay.
So me and Barbara were sitting here, we're watching it. Mind you, he's in diving school, and not where you float on the water. It's where you go stand on the bottom of the fucking sea and walk and do stuff.
Right.
So he's at the bottom of the sea waiting for them to throw his bag so he can do the flange. They cut his bag and drop the shit down into the water. 1. 2, the fucking officer in charge tells Robert De Niro's character, don't pull him up until he stops moving. So they were going to let him die underwater just because they didn't want another black cook, or to quote him pretty much, was another cook, auto mechanic, or such and such, to think that they could become a fucking Navy diver. So this is what they did to a man who wanted to serve the country. And not to mention the bullshit that he had to put up with from the officer when he was trying to get back to service, to be on active duty service. So this is what you did to people who are trying to serve the country in an honorable manner. And you want me to stand up for this shit.
Yeah. I have no problem with someone who isn't like immediately turning and throwing their hand over their heart for the anthem. It's like, okay. This was a trials event. There was a bunch of shit going on all over the place.
Yeah.
And
well, the Olympic just keeps saying so there's that thing that happened, right? But then there's also I read that they said that you cannot wear natural hair from brown people. Cannot wear special swim caps.
Yeah.
For women, like they can have special caps to protect their to wear on their heads for their natural hair. Like it doesn't make any sense. Like, come on.
It doesn't fit the natural shape of the head. Like, are you fucking serious?
Get the fuck out of here. And they said when they said true athletes wouldn't be an issue with true athletes. It was like they made some type of comment justifying, saying well, if they were an elite athlete, it wouldn't be an issue.
Well, if that was the case, nobody would be wearing them.
Yeah,
Right.
Exactly.
Then don't let anybody wear a swim cap. Everybody just have to go out there with their natural hair. Period. Point blank. Period. No swim caps for anybody.
Nope. Fair enough.
So
enough.
fuck the Olympics this year, man.
And
Fuck
look,
them.
and with so much COVID shit going on in Japan, they shouldn't be having these fuckers anyway.
Well, they're only having spectators from Japan. They are handing out condoms like they normally do, but they're telling people don't use them. And not because they want them to fuck without condoms. They just don't want them to be close to each other.
The people in Japan don't want the Olympics right now.
The Olympics, man, no one wants the Olympics because it is a giant albatross around your city. It's a terrible idea. Always, always, always. I mean, it's a huge, terrible idea for your city to host the Olympics.
Get ready, LA.
Let's leave the hustle and bustle for small town news.
Alrighty, we go to the Northeast Kingdom of Vermont, where the town of Craftsbury held its first bulk waste collection on Saturday. 4 dump trucks of materials, over 20 mattresses, 180 tires, and a large pile of metals were all collected. Select board co-chairs Jimmy Jones and Bruce Urey and volunteers Dave Brown, Penelope Doherty, Bob Griffiths, and Jane Solomon slung tires and unloaded sofas, mattresses, construction materials, and more from approximately 50 resident vehicles. Doherty said the town staff, Steve Perkins, patiently kept materials moving and watched over everyone's safety, saying it was so important to keep waste from our roadsides and streams, and residents need a way to dispose of these large items properly. That's from Susie Houston. Select Board co-chair Jimmy Jones and Doherty's Craftsbury representative to Lamoille Regional Solid Waste Management District are already planning next year's event, saying for next year we want to help people know what should come to bulky waste and what shouldn't. We don't want things unnecessarily going to the landfill. There you go. That's small town news.
You don't take bodies to the landfill.
No. You dig a hole yourself for that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like,
come on. Everybody knows that.
Well, obviously, some people don't know. Like they said, they need to make sure people know what they can bring, what they can.
Yeah, I think what we've learned from Casino is you dig the hole first.
Yes.
Then you drive them out to the desert and kill them. Yeah.
You don't. Yeah.
That was what I took away from Casino. Saying. I think that was the whole takeaway from the movie.
And cocaine's a hell of a drug.
It is.
It is.
Absolutely no denying that. By the way, if you're not watching Hack on HBO, you're missing a really good show.
Oh, that's a great show.
It's a very good show. Kareem, are you watching Hack?
I have not watched that one.
There's a black guy on it, Kareem. Get on it. And he's
I'll look
gay.
for it. Uh-oh.
But he's masculine gay. Like,
okay, I'll look for it.
Like,
no, it's a funny show. You'll enjoy it.
Okay.
Anyway, that's going to do it for us for this episode of the WTH podcast. Kareem, what did you learn today?
I learned that Jason needs to be stronger with his 2-year-old.
Jason, what did you learn?
Kareem needs to keep his opinions to himself. That's what I learned today.
Jason needs to get that pimp hand for that 2-year-old, or she gonna be ordering him around.
Look, he's outnumbered 3-1 in his own home. 3-1.
I'm telling you, it's just the 2-year-old's age. Like the 4-year-old gets in line. She know, like she's
okay.
But the 2-year-old, she's just at that age, man, where she went from being adorably sweet all the time to being adorably sweet, like cute all the time, but being a jerk. A third of the time.
Would you like my 2-year-old to smack her around a little?
No,
maybe throw something at her.
I wouldn't want to.
I can make it happen.
I don't want to see what happens between those two if they got enough.
I think we know. Mine's significantly larger.
Yeah, but Alma is a brawler though.
Okay.
She sits on her sister's head. Like she gets into.
You haven't been around Sam enough to say that.
I saw. I mean,
he's been around her a little bit, but she's been very sedate around the other girls. Look,
I've seen her in the studio.
Yeah, we did DDP yoga, and it was like doing goat yoga, but with her crawling all over us. So, yeah, it's insanity. I've learned that there is nothing that people want more than to have other people not have their rights.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because somehow they feel if those people have rights, then I'm losing my rights because everything is a zero-sum game. That means Donald Trump's theories about if you win, I have to lose have really seeped into these assholes. It's not true. Jason can win, Kareem can win, I can win. You know what else? A rising tide raises all boats.
Exactly.
And we're all playing our own game, bro. I'm not trying to win Nate's game, and he's not trying to win my game.
No. Hopefully what we do will help each other
win our games.
Level up, yeah.
Yep. And good news, the Montreal Canadiens finally won a game. So it's 3-1 Tampa, holding on by their fingernails in the Stanley Cup Finals.
Oh, yeah. And the best news is that Phoenix and Milwaukee will be in the finals, which means that none of those fucking loaded teams are made it.
Well, it also means no one will watch the finals because no one cares about Phoenix or Milwaukee.
Look,
it'll do great in Greece.
I'm going to watch it just for those reasons.
Well, there you go. All right, everybody, have a great one. Still no new name. Well, there is a new name, but putting together a package and graphics and everything that goes with it is a lot of work, and I got shit to do. This business does not run itself. I have shit to do,
Really?
and we already have a perfectly good logo.
Come on,
so,
man. It has to be easy.
Yeah, cake. Maybe if I wasn't raising 2 kids. Daycare? Not yet.
Nope.
Fingers crossed for soon. All right, we'll see you next week. Bye-bye. Darling New Media, here to help you tell your story.